Go ahead.
I was just curious if you could respond to the Washington Post poll, ABC poll, that showed a very strong majority had a negative response to the decision in your court
Well,
case.
what I would do is, quite frankly, question the motives of the Washington Post and ABC News. They have the benefit of the media exemption. They are corporations who get to tell the American people what to think on a minute-to-minute basis through their newspapers, through their television, through the websites. They control what goes on in the mainstream media. They drive the mainstream media. They don't want to have people, your average person, pedestrians, participating in the process. So they want to control all of the media. They want to control the message. And so they don't want to have other people, whether it's liberals or conservatives, to be candid, want to have any ability to have access to the marketplace of ideas. And so the Washington Post ABC poll, if you look at the questions, had nothing to do with educating the American people on free speech or the First Amendment. It was all about evil corporations like the Washington Post and New York Times.
So you thought it was an unfairly worded question?
It was a completely unfair poll, and I think you'll see a response to that very soon.
Okay, and even with that negative, or with the poll question framed in that way, did it disturb you that also a large percentage of conservatives and Republicans,
no, because they don't know
presented
either.
in that way?
Let's see. The only thing they've heard about this case was from the President of the United States, who lied in the State of the Union address and said foreign corporations were now able to buy elections. A complete and utter fabrication of the truth. And so, let's see, they've heard from the President of the United States, they've heard from Chuck Schumer and the liberals, the left wing in the House and Senate, who have been holding dozens of hearings on this case because they're going to rush through new legislation. It's hard for the American people to know anything. I mean, we haven't been out there. There's been no education on the Supreme Court can't talk.
Yeah.
So they're not out there defending so it's a one-sided argument. So it's very unfair for the American people to be told and inundated with all this leftist propaganda. And that's what it is, coming from Chuck Schumer and Van Hollen. What a joke those two guys are. I mean, they had a hearing. Both of them had hearings, I might add. Both of them had hearings on my case. Citizens United versus Federal Election Commission. Did not ask me to participate. Did not ask for the background of the case. Did not ask for anybody to represent us, any of our lawyers. They created a show so that they could manage the message in the media the next day, and that's what they did. They had Common Cause and all these guys who were obviously agree with them. It's easy to do that when you're fighting a guy with one hand tied behind his back. I don't have millions of dollars to spend to educate. I don't have the ability to hold congressional hearings. So, look, the Washington Post and the ABC poll will be seen for what it is in coming days.
Have you done any polling on your own to see response with different questions?
We're going to be taking a serious poll here very soon.
And you'll release it publicly?
Yes.